R.J. Adams was a film and television actor, acting coach, screenwriter, film producer, documentary producer and radio personality. Beginnings. Born in St. Catharines, Ontario, where he spent his early childhood until his family headed across the border to Niagara Falls, New York. Known to his friends as Bob Adams, the aspiring actor, radio DJ, spent just a couple of years attending Bishop Duffy High School before dropping out and moving to New York City at the age of 17 to study acting with Sanford Meisner at the neighborhood playhouse. Upon his arrival on the West Coast, Adams landed a job as a page at NBC Burbank, which led to a radio job in Phoenix and ultimately a 25-year career in broadcasting as Bob Shannon. His on-air career included radio stations in markets such as Buffalo, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, St. Louis, Seattle, Minneapolis, St. Paul, San Diego and Los Angeles. It was while working at KFI in the mid-1970s that Adams once again turned his attention back to film acting. Radio career. Adams began his 30-year radio career as Bob Shannon at KXIB Phoenix, Arizona until going full-time, thanks to the efforts of play-by-play announcer Al McCaughey, who got him in his first full-time on-air job at KLBU Yuma, Arizona, and from there it was on to KUTY Palmdale, California, before making the giant leap to KDWB St. Paul, Minnesota by the end of the year. But it wasn't until Shannon arrived in Phoenix that he garnered his first major success at KRUX Phoenix, Arizona, by rapidly climbing to number one in the market by beating all competitors by 20-plus points, utilizing a variety of crazy characters and outlandish antics such as the invasion of his show by the television rock group, the Monkees. The episode aired as the finale of the group's first season. Following his departure from Phoenix, Shannon held air shifts at WKBW Buffalo, New York and WKYC Cleveland, Ohio until landing the coveted early evening slot at KXOK St. Louis, Missouri, where he again rose to the number one show in the market, beating his nearest rival by 20-plus ratings points. BS in the morning. Following St. Louis, Shannon joined a couple of famous call letters including KJR Seattle, Washington, WIXY Cleveland, Ohio and KDKA before returning to KDWB-MPLS, St. Paul as BS in the morning. It was here that he gained instant popularity by a myriad of stunts such as broadcasting live from the streets of the Twin Cities while distributing cans of beans during the gas shortage of the mid-1970s, which he promoted as a natural gas substitute. His name recognition eventually brought him to the attention of KFI Los Angeles in 1975, where he enjoyed several successful years doing afternoons as BS in Drive. In 1976, Shannon, with the help of his vast audience as well as the national media, succeeded in persuading NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, to adopt male hurricane names in an effort to bring equal hurricane rights to men. Up until that time, hurricanes had only been names for women. His successful campaign brought about the Hurricane David, the name of Shannon's son. From KFI, he went on to KHJ and KLAC, Los Angeles, before retiring from radio in the mid-1980s to devote all his attention to film acting. In 2000, R.J. Adams returned to the airwaves once again as Bob Shannon, this time joining the air staff of KRTH 101 in Los Angeles, not to be confused with a radio personality of the same name who is midday host on New York City's most popular radio station, Classic Hits WCBS-FM. In 2003 he ventured into talk radio as host of Backstage Live, a film and television call-in program specifically geared toward aspiring and professional actors on Smart Talk KRLA. In 2011, Adams played a serial killing priest in a dark suspense thriller, film, television actor. From 1975 to 1978, Adams studied under acting coach Charles E. Conrad. He was cast in a variety of shows including Hotel, The Practice, Archie Bunker's Place, General Hospital, Kojak and Hill Street Blues. From the 1980s to the 2000s, Adams appeared in dozens of film and television projects including Rocky IV, The Execution, Falling Through and Murder, She Wrote, and was a series regular on Riptide. Adams starred in 4 feature films for which he wrote the screenplay: A Be a Pharisee, The Studio Club, Chasing Jose, and the Christmas Quilt film, television acting coach. Shortly after leaving the Charles E. Conrad studio in 1978, Adams began teaching a handful of actors from the local community college. That led to a 35-year coaching career at the Actors Workshop. Some of his former students include Christy Swanson, Brian Krause, Sarah Lancaster, Vitalis Ryan Shannon, Shay Harrison and Annette Mahendru. Adams appeared as a panelist for the Screen Actors Guild Foundation and conducted SAG-AFTRA acting workshops in Los Angeles and San Diego. Documentary producer. In 1976, Adams founded Shannon and Company, which served Orange County and Los Angeles as a full-service advertising agency until the company converted to a broadcast and film production company in the 1980s, focusing primarily on historical documentary projects and docudramas. The company rolled out a number of films including Ruins of the Reich, The Missions of California, Order Castles of the Third Reich, and The Final Journey. Ownership of Shannon and Company changed when Rob Adams took control of the company in the spring of 2000 and steered the company toward the production of feature films and episodic television. Personal life. Adams and his wife Diane have been married for 47 years. His son, actor Rob Adams, is an acting coach at the Actors Workshop. Adams was an FAA-licensed IFR commercial pilot and flew various planes ranging from the Cessna 150 to the Cessna CE 550 corporate jet. Adams died of a heart attack on January 26, 2015. He was 72.